At last, a transfer rumour, I believe. Now, you don't have to believe it, and you don't necessarily have to want it to happen either. But over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of conflicting reports regarding some players of interest to West Ham. I'm just pleased to have a transfer rumour that I think is actually true. And it's come from Plettenberg. He said, breaking. West Ham now pushing to sign RB Leipzig striker Andre Silva on a 6-month loan. New talks today. Decisive round of negotiations scheduled for Friday. Some Bundesliga clubs are also keen on Silva. Now he goes on to add, and it's a new name that I've seen linked to West Ham in this window, that if a move for Silva fails, Brian Brobbey of Ajax is an option West Ham are considering. Decision soon. As we say, interesting. Predictable, I think, is maybe the phrase I'd use, but that's what we're going to be discussing. We're going to be talking about that update from Plettenberg. But if you're new to Hammers Chat, please do subscribe. Over 700 people have hit the subscription button over the last 28 days. They can't all be wrong. Well, they can. They can all be wrong. But if you fancy joining them, it'd be much welcome to have you here. Please do subscribe. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. Also drop a like on the video as well. I've had over 1,000 likes on videos recently. That's the target. Helps out the video, helps our channel, makes me happy. And you know what? So will this deal, actually. And I appreciate not everybody will be keen on signing Andre Silva. I'm not saying that you have to be. I'm just going to give you my opinion. And I think a large part of it comes down to your expectations for the transfer window, perhaps your hopes for the transfer window. And my hopes and expectations are somewhat in line with each other. If we could sign a young, promising player, or we could make a statement signing, a substantial signing, John Duran would certainly have been classed as that, then wonderful. However, I've never really expected it, and I don't think we need it, quite frankly. I think we won't get relegated this season. We won't qualify for European football this season. So it feels like a bit of a write-off. Now, I appreciate that if things go wrong, we can get sucked into a relegation battle, but as I've said, looking at the league table, I think we need 10 points from 16 games to stay up. I would expect Graham Potter to achieve that with the squad he has today without any additions. But my hopes for the window were if we could bring in 2 players on loan just to give him a bit more depth, a bit more strength, and most importantly, a bit more quality to select from. Because we're going into the game against Aston Villa, you're looking at the striker options. We don't really have any, and it's very underwhelming. So we could just get that one other option. Great, that's an improvement. If we could get somebody that's better than Danny Ings between now and the end of the season, we've improved the squad. And I think Andre Silva does that. Because I just want us to bring in 2 people that could be an option for Graham Potter, and 2 people that Graham Potter will utilise. I think this is important as well. We can't just bring in players and say, there you are, use them, and just 2 players that he's not interested in. It's got to be good loan signings. 2 players that, whether Kyle McCauley is involved or not, but certainly Graham Potter's identified and looked at and said, yeah, do you know what? I could work with him. He will suit, as a player, he will suit how I want to play at West Ham for the remainder of the season. And I think Andre Silva might tick that box, actually. So it'll be a low-cost loan move. And I appreciate he has had injury problems over the last couple of seasons. But we're not signing him. We're not away to pay 20 million for him. We're getting him in. He only needs to be fit for 4 months until the end of May. That's it. He just needs to be fit for 4 months. And even in that period, maybe not for Andre Silva, as I say, he might not be needed in every game. He possibly will be, because Fullkrug won't be back till the end of April. Antonio's not going to be back this season, so he might be the number 1 striker. But there is also the possibility that Potter will see Bowen as a striker for West Ham for the remainder of the season. I don't know. We're going to discover it, and I'm looking forward to it. But I think Andre Silva on loan is a good signing. I would like to have the option to buy on him, not an obligation. We don't like them. But the option, so that if he is a success, then we know exactly how much we've got to pay for him in the summer, and we've got him signed up. 29 years old, will be our 4th striker and our youngest striker. That's a bad reflection on the situation at West Ham in the striking department, isn't it? But the reason I'd like the option to buy is because I think it's feasible that all 3 strikers will leave in the summer. And, you know, Ings is out of contract, Antonio's out of contract, and Fullkrug, you'd imagine, would be keen on sending them back to the Bundesliga. So we will need to sign that substantial striker. Will need to come in the summer. Maybe Andre Silva would be the 2nd striker. I don't know. But it would be an addition. It would be a 4-month addition for him. Like I said, pre-season, I still see this as an 8-month pre-season for Graham Potter. If Andre Silva could be here for the duration of the between now and the end of the season, gets a really good look at him, decides, I don't want him next season, put him back to Leipzig, or he goes, you know what, quite like this guy. Some players we get linked to, I've never heard of, like the Dutch midfielder, still don't even know how to pronounce his name. I've been away for the last couple of days, I've not really been doing research or anything, but I've seen all the transfer rumours. The guy that starts with B, you know who he is, still don't know how to pronounce his name. But a lot of the players we get linked to, I know nothing about them, right? The guy that's scoring goals and that starts with E in France, Omega, is that his name? Lots of people say he's really good. Never heard of him until literally 2 weeks ago or something like that. Andre Silva I know quite a bit about because of his time with Frankfurt and briefly with his time at Leipzig, although he's been out the team more than in it, went on loan to Real Sociedad last season, so I don't know about his time there, although I do appreciate and know he had quite a big injury and missed half the season. But when he was at Frankfurt, he was fantastic. I remember 2 or 3 seasons ago, he scored 28 goals in Bundesliga. I think he had like 10 assists as well. It was mental. His goals and assists were greater than the games played. He played low 30 games and his goals and assists came to like 40 something. It was an incredible return. This is a goal scorer. This is a goal scorer with a bad injury record over the last couple of seasons. Now, if we were being linked to him to buy him for 20 million right now, I'd be saying, no, we don't want to be doing this. He's injury prone. We're not buying him yet. We're loaning him in. And I think what you're looking for in a player, I think you can ignore the injury proneness. Yes, certainly there's risk. He could come in, gets injured immediately, and we don't have him for the rest of the season. Even a point say, oh, well, injury prone. And they'd be quite right too. But I feel like he's less injury prone than Fullkrug, less injury prone than Iwoni, and Evan Ferguson to some extent. I think he's less injury. I should probably have fact checked this, but I literally just got home and jumped on because I need to do a video and it's the breaking news according to Plettenberg. Fast, got to be quick, haven't you? I'll never be first to the news, but if I could be the quickest to talking about the news once someone else has broke it, that'd be good. That's my aim. Welcome to Hammers Chat. We're a fan channel, not a news channel. But anyway, speaking about Brian Brobbey. So Andre Silva's a big yes for me, by the way. I think he's a really good striker. Went to Leipzig. I think it was the wrong move for him. I get why he went. I can't remember how much he cost them. It was a decent bit of money he went for. 20 million maybe, I'm just guessing here. I don't think it was higher than that, and I don't think it was less than 10. Somewhere in there. And I think it was a big move because Leipzig's always got a high turnover of attacking players, but also very good attacking players as well at that club. And funny enough, Brian Brobbey was one of the players at Leipzig that never really got a sniff. I don't remember him, Brian Brobbey. Don't remember him at Leipzig at all. I had a quick look on my phone before I recorded it, and I think he played 9 games, and I'm not going to remember that. And I haven't really watched Ajax that much in the last couple of seasons, so when he's been prolific, I've not been watching him. But certainly a player I've heard of, but I couldn't tell you too much about him. However, I'm sure there's a few clued up people that'll be in the comments commenting on these. But just looking at the profile of the players, there is a significant difference with the two. You know, Silva's 29, bad injury record the last couple of seasons, whereas Brobbey was sort of like, there was a lot of hype around him a year ago, wasn't there? He was scoring goals for Ajax, and when I was having a look at him just now, 1 goal this season, 17 appearances, 1 goal, so he's certainly not firing for them, but you do feel like there is a player there, and at only 22 years of age, there's a good signing for somebody to get in on loan with that option to buy, so if you can make a decent striker. And you feel like Silva's best days are behind him, whereas with Brobbey, I find it hard to subscribe to that idea that a 22-year-old is finished in football. So I think more people will want Brobbey, and I understand. And I think from the player profile aspect, I would agree. But I can't really comment too much on him because I don't know enough about him. I just think Silva would be a good signing. And he's a stopgap, ultimately. Because that's the thing with Iwoni. And you get misquoted a bit when you do these videos, because I remember when I spoke about Iwoni, he said, oh yeah, get him on loan, wouldn't pay for him, and someone said, oh, why would you want to waste 20 million on Iwoni? It's a bit, you know, I'm the one hard of hearing, right? I've got excuses on the assumption that the person listening isn't hard of hearing. Listen, but loaning a player and buying a player is two different things for me. I don't want to spend 20 million on a loanee. However, if Nottingham Forest somehow signed Wissa or Cunha, I mean, mental players they're trying to sign, but I like it. You're in the top 4, go for it, go get it, go make a big signing and get that top 4 spot or top 5 this season. We were there previously, West Ham, even under Sam Allardyce, we were in the top 4 at Christmas time. We never capitalised on it. We never showed ambition in the January transfer window. It used to really frustrate me. 2 or 3 times under David Moyes, we'd be in there, we'd be up in the top 6, top 4. Got Jesse Lingard in, and we went from 4 to 6. But had we not gone, I think we might have dropped a little bit further because Declan Rice was injured for a period of it. But I used to get frustrated. But come on, we've got this one-off opportunity to maybe get Champions League football, and we would do nothing with it. So I'm loving Nottingham Forest trying to get in someone that could really keep them in that top 5. Go for it. But the knock-on effect or the ripple effect for those that like James Alcott will know that if Wissa goes to Nottingham Forest, then Awoni on loan perhaps becomes a possible deal, because I can understand why Forest are saying no right now. We want to sell him. That's our second choice striker. But they go get someone else. Somehow, very quickly, Awoni on loan becomes viable. Now, I have seen this link to Evan Ferguson again today, and when Herzler was asked about Evan Ferguson potentially leaving, he certainly didn't say no. He said we'll have to wait and see what happens. So I think the door for Evan Ferguson going out on loan is well and truly open. I appreciate that. I'm going to call him Enciso. I appreciate I pronounced his name wrong, but you just know who I mean. He's gone out on loan, so I thought that might make it a little bit trickier to get Ferguson, but apparently not. By the way, Ipswich Town, have they got a better attack than us now? I'm not. This isn't me baiting. I'm not putting in the title. The title of the video is not going to be Ipswich Town are a better attack than West Ham. That's not the title of the video. It's going to be Andre Silva to West Ham, right? This is a conversation, a debate between me and the subscribers now. Ipswich Town's attack, Delap up front. Then they've got Philogene and Cisco and then Hutchinson. Now, I appreciate Bowen is better than all those, but the rest of them, you'd have Delap up front, so that's 1-1. And then you can debate about the other positions, Somerville or Philogene. Let's just go Somerville, but and Cisco would possibly get in. I tell you what, Ipswich have assembled a tasty looking attack there, actually. I'm kind of, I don't know, envious, I guess, a little bit. Anyway, I've got completely off topic. Right, so that's the thing. Andre Silva, I think it'll happen. For over a week now, I thought it will happen. That would sign Andre Silva on loan, but that's because my expectations are low. That's because when the story of the bid for Duran come out, I laughed at it and said, yeah, of course we did. I do believe we made a bid. I just don't believe we intended on signing him or we were really serious about it. And then when it was, oh yeah, the money might be there if the other striker pops up, I thought, oh, that's going to be, I know what's going to happen then. The right striker won't pop up. That's convenient, isn't it? We've already mentioned it. I've seen a rumour today, Boniface could be there for €50 million. Well, go on then. Again, another player that has had his injury problems and stuff, but there's top strikers available if you're willing to spend the money. But because I've never thought we would, and I'm okay with it. I am okay with getting in players on loan, but we have to. You can back Graham Potter various ways. It could be getting the checkbook out and bringing in big signings, but I think getting in a couple of loan players in the meantime is still backing him to some extent. But Potter himself, he might not, I don't know. But if he's thinking, I'm okay with the squad, just a couple of loans just to beef it up a bit, and then I'll evaluate everyone, that might be backing Graham. This might be what Graham Potter wants. I don't know. The only thing that makes you hesitant to believe it, or makes me hesitant to believe it, is we've been here before. We've seen this story before under David Sullivan, haven't we? This isn't anything new to us. It's not a new direction. It's the opposite. It's the old direction. But the important thing with Plettenberg's tweet was crucial. What was it? What was the? Let me get this right. I just complained about someone misquoting me. I don't want to do it to Plettenberg. Decisive round of negotiations tomorrow. I feel like that will be a decisive round of negotiations. We've had talks today and we've decided to go again tomorrow. Decisive round. It's quite final. I think Andre Silva will be a West Ham player over the weekend or something like that, and he'll be in place for the not the Aston Villa game. I don't think he'll be in place for that one. You never know. We speed it up. We might just get it through in time. Unlikely, but that would be the hope. It would be a bit frustrating if they know that the deadlines are there, and we take our time a little bit and sign him Friday night, Saturday, but it's like, oh well, can't play him on Sunday. Well, it could be a matter of hours, the difference between Silva being available for Graham Potter against Aston Villa on Sunday. It could literally be a handful of hours. I'm hoping that we're still doing negotiations today, and tomorrow morning we can get everything dotted and crossed so that he's registered in time, which is noon, and then he can be in the squad. That's my hope. But yeah, Andre Silva to West Ham, I believe it. I'm okay with it, but we still need more players in. I'm not ignoring the transfer rumours to Gomez, the Dutch guy, Dan Neil. I just don't... It's difficult. It's a bit of a minefield. It's difficult to know what to believe. I'm struggling to know what to believe myself. I don't think we're close on any of them. So I guess I've just suggested what I believe. But anyway, I'm shutting up. I'm disappearing. Back tomorrow with the Aston Villa preview, which I'm looking forward to doing. And possibly an Andre Silva's joined West Ham video. But before you disappear, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to Hammer Chat. Catch you in a bit.